Because what we want to do is expand this to see if it's true, if the philosophy of non-duality isn't just a philosophy, if you can see it in your own experience, that everything you see, you can say, that's my own mind. That is my own mind. And if you can see how it's not possible that it can be separate from my own mind, because my own mind is the only tool I have to know and experience the world. It's the only tool I have. I don't have another tool. So anything in this room, we can start in this little room, and we can expand the realization to include the entire universe. And then you'll realize, even if you point out to the moon, you realize that moon is my own mind. It has to be my own mind, because it's the only tool I have to know and experience the world. It's the only tool I have. It cannot be separate from my own mind. And every object I see, every object, has to be my own mind, because my own mind is all I have. It's the only tool I have to know and experience my world. What other tool do I have? So if we can just keep it simple at first, and we started with this, and then pick any other object and say, is this really a couch, or is this my own mind labeling it as a couch, defining describing it? Is there any part of that couch, any characteristic of the couch that is separate from my own mind describing and defining those characteristics? Is there anything about that couch that is separate from my own mind's description of it? I can't find anything. Anything you point to, you can describe it as comfortable. That's my own mind describing it. Olive green, that's my own mind. Function of, place to sit. Its location in the room. My mind is describing the location in the room. I really don't even know where we are. We're in the Milky Way galaxy. Where's the Milky Way galaxy? I don't know. It's a creation of my own mind. Like the entire Milky Way galaxy is only my own mind. It doesn't exist out there. There is no such thing called the Milky Way galaxy, apart from my own mind. So keeping it local here, can you point to anything and describe it, define it, or know what it is, and know that the description and that the object exists separate from your own mind? Is there one object in this room that is not a description and it isn't described and defined by your own mind? Is there one object? So isn't everything your own mind? Name one object that is not described and defined by your mind. Even the fire. You have to describe that and define that. And it's, all of its characteristics. You say it's hot. That's your own mind labeling it that it's hot. It's your own mind labeling that it's a red candle. It's your own mind labeling that it has an orange, yellow flame, right? So it's your own mind labeling it, describing it, defining it. Is there anything separate from that process, the mental process of labeling, defining, describing? Is there anything? Let's find out, because we want to know if everything is my own mind. We want to know that. That's the fundamental essence of non-duality, not two. And if it's not two, that means everything is one. And if I exist and everything is one, then everything is me. It's myself. If that's the truth of non-duality. And not just an interesting philosophy you read about in a book. So Let's figure this out right here. Is anything find something? Anything separate from your own mind labeling it, describing it, defining it. A piece of chocolate. Reese's peanut butter bar. And you can look at the cover. It's sort of yellowish and brown. There's some writing on it. Is there anything about this? And it tastes sweet. It's got the chocolatey flavor and the peanut flavor. Delicious. A cat would not touch this. They sniff it. So this isn't a taste. This is not a tasty chunk of chocolate. This isn't a sweet, tasty chocolate. It has no absolute existence on its own. It only exists because my mind defines it, describes it.
Whose mind?
This mind. The mind is a function.
So not of me experiencing in my mind? That's the way to do it. I get tripped up on it. There's a me experiencing a mind.
Experiencing is happening. We can look into who's experiencing. There's consciousness, we can tell it, but who owns the consciousness? Let's stay with the objects, and we'll get to that too. Because we want to, if we can see all these objects, and then we'll look into the object called me, and see if that is not also a function of mind. And because everything, let's stay with the objects, and you'll realize that this is your mind, this is your mind, this is your mind. And the me that you're asking about, when you say, is it my mind, the me experiencing this, that sense of me is another object, just like this. So that me sense has no independent existence from the mind itself. So the me sense, the I sense, is the mind. This is your mind. The I sense is your mind. And there's something that is aware of all this, which cannot be labeled as me or you. It's just awareness. And in this awareness, the mind arises. This is your mind. The thought I, or me, the sense of being an I or me, is your own mind. This table is your own mind. It has the I and the me has no separate, independent existence outside of the mind describing and defining it as me. And this has no independent existence. It's separate from me as a piece of chocolate outside of your own mind describing and defining me, chocolate. Both the me and the chocolate are an appearance of the mind. It's the mind itself. And that's the only tool you have. So you can't get rid of this me. It is the mind. There is something that's aware of that sense of I, that sense of me. Something is aware of that. And something is aware of this. But this and the I-me sense are not separate from the mind itself. It is the mind. You are that which is aware of the mind, because something is aware of it. Noticing the functioning of the mind. I, me. I feel like I'm a me. Something is aware of that, and something sees this object. But the me sense, the I sense, is just another object of the mind. Just like this, just like the table. There's the I sense. There's the chocolate, there's the table, there's a phone. All appearances of mind. So the I sense is the mind, the chocolate is your mind, this is your mind, that is your mind, that's your mind. Everything is, nothing can be separate from your mind. Your parents cannot be separate from your mind. Your friends cannot be separate. Your dog cannot be separate from your mind. Your chocolate cannot be. There's no way to separate anything from your own mind. It's the only tool you have to know and experience the world. So you know everything that you believe you know even including the I sense and the me sense, has no absolute existence. It doesn't exist except as your own mind. Because your own mind says it is what it is, then it becomes the appearance of what it is. But it is not that. Because from someone else's perspective, from the perspective of another point of consciousness, that I sense or me sense does not exist. From the perspective of a termite, the ego sense, the ego I sense, doesn't exist. So this I sense is your mind, and it has no absolute reality. It's not real. And this is not real. This is not real. That's not real. Nothing is what you think it is. The I sense is not what you think it is. It's based on our conditioning, our beliefs, and it's limited to the capacity of this mind. It's limited. It can only define, label, describe, and experience something based on its previous conditioning, its previous knowledge. But seeing that, then you realize that everything in your experience is a creation of your own mind. And how do you know that's true? Is because your own mind is all you have to know and experience your world. It's all you have. You have no other tool. So if you label something as, that's a cup of coffee, that's a chocolate, that's a table, you know it's your own mind labeling it, because that's the only tool you have is your own mind. And also you know that it's not really a table. And it's not really a piece of chocolate. It's not a cell phone. It's not my boss. It's not, and this I sense is not me. It's not real. I have no idea. So you realize everything in your experience is your own mind, and you know that none of it has any absolute reality, and you really don't know what anything is. There's no way to know what anything is. There's no way to know, because all you have is your mind. And you've seen that your mind is limited. It can only label based on what it already knows. So it calls this chocolate Reese's bar, peanut, sweet, good. This is not sweet, good. It doesn't have any absolute existence. It's only my mind's description. You put this in front of a cat, and they'll turn their nose at it. So it's not sweet, delicious, and tasty. You put it in front of a termite, they'll turn its nose at it. It will go for the wood. This is delicious to a termite. Tasty. It's a good place to live. So do you see how everything that you see, it doesn't have any absolute reality to it. It's your own mind. So if you see that, then you realize everything in your experience is not what it appears to be. And you have no idea of knowing what it really is. Everything. If you can see that with a simple cell phone, then you can see that with your boss. When you're looking in your eye, when you're looking at your boss in the eye, and you come up, you realize this label comes up. That's my boss. I'm his employee. All this labeling comes up. It'll still keep coming up. It's the nature of the mind. But even when it comes up, you say to yourself, you know what? I don't have a clue what any of that means. That's my boss? I don't even know what that means. You know what it means in relative terms, but you know it has no absolute reality. You know this is just my own mind creating this thing called a boss, or called a dog, or called a cat, or called a parent, or called a friend, or called a couch, or a chair, or a cup of coffee, or a chocolate. You realize that everything is labeled, but you know because of the limits of, because you know the only thing you have is your own mind to label and know your world. That's all you have. And you know the limits of this mind. You know my mind, I really don't know. I don't know if that's a delicious, tasty morsel. I have no idea. To me it is. But the rest of the universe, this is not a Reese's peanut butter bar. Just to me, my own mind. And there are others that may agree, other human beings that like this. But even other human beings that would say no, they're not allowed to eat sugar or chocolate. So this is not a tasty. So it has no absolute independent reality. Only what my mind describes and defines it to be. So even as I'm going through my daily life, this mind is labeling everything, describing everything, saying this is good, that's bad. Even while that process of mind is happening, labeling and judging, even while it's happening, I know that I really don't know anything. I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know what's a boss? I know in relative terms. I'm the employee and that's my boss. I know in relative terms. But what that really means is, I don't really know what that means. And it's only a temporary appearance of my own mind. And then it's gone. And maybe in 3 or 4 months from now, I may be the boss. So I've gone from this image in my mind of an employee looking at a boss. My boss gets demoted. I get promoted. Now I'm the boss and he's my employee. So even whatever you do experience from day to day is only a temporary experience. And it's just always changing. So whatever you believe exists, it's only your own mind defining and describing the existence of something, and it's only a temporary, even the relative appearance is only temporary. Because if I eat this, it's no longer a Reese's Pieces chocolate. It's temporary. So even what you believe is true on a relative basis is only temporarily true. And it only has relative existence, temporary relative existence. So you see how everything is your own mind? Even if you look at the moon, same thing. Does the moon describe itself to you and say, I am orbiting planet Earth, I am, describe itself to you? No, your mind, based on what you've learned and read and all that, points to the moon and says, that's the moon, and you describe it all. So you point to the moon and that's my own mind is giving that moon reality and describing it. So not just on a local level, but everything you can point to is your own mind. If you look out at the Milky Way galaxy, you describe and define it. The Milky Way galaxy with 100 billion stars, and it doesn't go to you and describe itself to you. It all exists and described and defined in your mind, and at night you point to the Milky Way galaxy and you see the stars that make up the Milky Way galaxy, and you say, oh, there's the Milky Way galaxy. So that means the entire universe, you can point out everything you see in the universe is your own mind. Not just this cell phone. So you start with a simple cell phone. This doesn't come to you and describe itself to you. Your mind describes it. And then from this simple object, you notice your surroundings, your boss, your coworkers, your friends, your family. Everything you can look at and point to is your own mind, describing and defining that object. So it's your own mind. Your own mind gives it the labels of good or bad, right or wrong, that defines the relationship to you. This is a parent, this is a friend, this is a stranger, this is the boss, this is a coworker, this is the dog. It's all your own mind. Everything is your own mind. So everything you're experiencing is your own mind. So if you don't like something in your daily experience, okay, I don't like this person or that, it's your own mind disliking itself, its own creations. because that's all you have is your mind to know and experience the world. So if you're uncomfortable with other people or other things, other situations, it's your own mind that's uncomfortable with its own creations, because it's all you. So that's the essence of non-duality. Everything you see is your own mind. You cannot point to anything and say that it doesn't come to you and describe itself to you. Your mind goes to it and describes it and creates it. Good, bad, right, wrong. Any description is your own mind. So whatever you're experiencing, your likes and dislikes of other human beings, pleasant and unpleasant, you know it's your own mind. Because it's the only tool you have to experience and know the world and your daily life is your own mind. Nothing can be separate from your own mind. Point to something that's separate from your own mind. You can't. As soon as you point to it, it's your mind that labels it, describes it, defines it, judges it, good, bad, neutral. It's all a function of your own mind. Every person you know is a creation of your own mind. Every person, every object, every relationship, every belief, everything is your own mind. You cannot separate you cannot separate your world of experience from your own mind. You can't do it, because it's the only tool you have to know and experience the world. Therefore, the essence, the bottom line of non-duality, that it's all one and it's all me, is seen clearly, because everything is my own mind. Nothing has any separate existence from my own mind. So that's the essence of non-duality. This is all me. It can't be separate from me, because I have no other tool to interpret or experience my world but my own mind. And I know that nothing is inherently good or bad until my mind labels it as good or bad. My boss has no independent good or evil. Only as my mind labels him, creates him, defines him. In your daily experience with your boss, or your coworkers, your friends, your family, whatever your situation, having a lot of money, having no money, having a lot of friends, having no friends, having all these different situations, you could label them as good or bad, but they are not good or bad. It's only your own mind labeling it as good or bad. So everything in your experience, everything is your own mind. That's the essence of non-duality. It's all me. So if you find yourself, miserable, it's your own mind miserable with its own creations. If you find yourself happy, it's your own mind happy with its own creations. It's all you. This is the essence of non-duality. So you are living in your own mind. When you look out here, you're seeing. The only thing you can see is your own mind. So you're walking around, living in, and experiencing your own mind. You are walking around in your own mind. Your mind is three-dimensional. You're walking around in your own mind. What other tools do you have to know and experience the world? You have your own mind. So as I step up here, I am walking around in my own mind. It's the only tool I have. The mind is three-dimensional space and time. And it's all you have to know and experience the world is your own mind. So this world, whatever you're looking and seeing in a three-dimensional space, you're looking out through your own mind. Your own mind is out here. It's not just in here. It's all you.